where he's instructing Sanatana Goswami. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is instructing Sanatana Goswami. And then he explained something very, very nice. It is said that Prabhupada in his audio recording of this verse, actually it is text 66. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, I met your two brothers, Rupa and Anupam, at Prayag. They have now gone to Vrindavan. So what Prabhupada actually mentioned in this audio, he said before the Goswamis, the Vrindavan city was not there. It was just bush and everything was forgotten. The Krishna's pastime places, everything was forgotten. And only when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to Vrindavan, he first, guess what? What he pointed out first?
Radhakund.
Yes. First he pointed out Radhakund. That's very interesting. First he pointed out Radhakund, and then they made a survey of the whole area. Then he got his disciples to develop Vrindavan and disclose the pastime places. So Radhakund was very important. He discovered this place first. And from there they did the survey. So this Radhakund is very important. So when he came to Vrindavan, Radhakund. Though they have divided it into Radhakund, etc., but geographically it is one. This whole Braj is basically one. But they're diversified. This is Vrindavan, this is this. But this whole place is actually Vrindavan. Vrindavan is actually Krishna's pastime places. So, okay. So then, so Gauranga Mahaprabhu said he met the two brothers, and he actually asked them to go to Vrindavan. In fact, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Rupa Goswami, after he actually instructed Rupa Goswami in devotional service, then he told him that he was going to Vrindavan, and Rupa Goswami said he wants to accompany Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, at that time, they were in Prayag. In fact, that's where Rupa Goswami met. Yes, he met Rupa Goswami, and he said he was going to Vrindavan. So Rupa Goswami said he wanted to accompany Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he said he cannot stay without Mahaprabhu's association. And Mahaprabhu didn't listen to all that. He said, no, you go to Vrindavan. Actually, Rupa Goswami, he was sending Rupa Goswami to Vrindavan. He was sending Rupa Goswami to Vrindavan. He said, we are near Vrindavan, you go to Vrindavan. By the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatana Goswami met both Tapan Misra and Chandrasekhar. So, yes. So at Prayag, he was staying in the house, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was staying in the house of Chandrasekhar. And Tapana Misra, he was accommodating Sanatana Goswami. You can hear?
Yes.
We are recording. So
oh, very good, very good, very good, very good, very good. Tapana Misra then extended an invitation to Sanatan, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Sanatan to get a shave. So Srila Prabhupada said in his commentary in the audio that everyone who belonged to the Sampradaya of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, they had to be clean shaven. They had to be clean shaven. So there's only one exception, And that exception, all of you know, is Advaita Acharya. He said Advaita Acharya, he had a beard. He said that Prabhupada said that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that Advaita Acharya, he was a contemporary of his father. So he didn't want to instruct him. It's like instructing his father. You should have a shave. So he didn't instruct him. So he was the only one who had a beard. Right, so that was interesting. After this, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called Chandrasekhar and asked him to take Sanatan with him. He also asked him to take away Sanatan's present dress. So Sanatan had traveled, through this hilly track. His clothing was messed, etc. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Chandrasekhar to give him some new clothing. So Chandrasekhar then made Sanatan Goswami look like a gentleman. He took him to bathe in the Ganges, and afterwards he brought him a new set of clothes. So Prabhupada mentioned a nice comment there. He said, being clean shaven, you look like a gentleman. With a beard and all, he said, you look like a darvish. So you have to be clean shaven and nice. But I'm like a darvish now with my beard. But I normally actually go to Radhakund and I have a shave, but now everything is locked down, so I'm not shaving for a few days. Yes. So as soon as the lockdown is finished, I will also have a clean shave. Chandrasekhar offered a new set of garments to Sanatan Goswami, but Sanatan did not accept these new garments. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard news of this, he became very, very happy. Very, very happy. Mahaprabhu became very, very happy when he heard that Sanatan didn't accept his new clothes. After bathing at noon, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the house of Tapana Misra for lunch. He took Sanatan Goswami with him. After washing his feet, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat down for lunch. He asked Tapana Misra to supply Sanatan Goswami's lunch also. Tapana Misra then said, Sanatan has some duty to perform, therefore he cannot accept lunch now. At the conclusion of the meal, I shall supply Sanatan with some remnants. So that was this etiquette that Gauranga Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Spiritual Master, eats first, and then after the disciple eats the remnants, whatever is left, he eats. So after eating, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took rest for a while. Tapana Misra then gave Sanatan Goswami the remnants of food left by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Tapana Misra offered Sanatan Goswami a new cloth, he did not accept it. Instead, he spoke as follows: if you want to give me some cloth according to your desire, please give me an old cloth you have not used. When Tapana Misra gave Sanatan Goswami a used dhoti, Sanatan immediately tore it into pieces and made 2 sets of outer cloth and underwear, or kopan. Now, Prabhupada also mentioned here that generally the system in India, when a person buys a dhoti, they use it for 5 years and then they give it up. So for 5 years they use the dhoti, they give it up. So Tapana Misra gave Sanatan this old dhoti, used dhoti. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu introduced the Maharashtrian Brahman to Sanatan, the Brahman immediately invited Sanatan Goswami for full meals. Oh, it looks like a Maharashtrian Brahman also came there at that time. So Mahaprabhu introduced him to Sanatan, and he immediately offered. That's an Indian custom, whenever a sannyasi or a holy person comes to the town or to the village, then they are very accommodating. They will tell them, come and take prasad at my home. Right. So the Brahmin, he said, this Maharashtrian Brahmin said, my dear Sanatan, as long as you remain at Kasi, please accept lunch at my place. Right. And Sanatana Goswami replied, I shall practice the process of madhukari. Why should I accept full meals in the house of a Brahmin? So Prabhupada explained a little bit about madhukari. He explained that how madhu is honey. And he said like a bee collects honey from one flower to another flower to another flower. So he takes a little bit of this flower, next a little bit of another flower he collects. So he says madhukari is, you get the term like this, like you're collecting this honey. So instead of eating in many different householders' place or eating one full meal at one householder's place, they go from householder to householder to householder, and they accept a little bit. So they don't burden any householder for a full meal. And also at the same time, it's basically it's a blessing for the householder. Whoever gives this meal to this renunciant, this vairagya, he benefits spiritually from doing this seva, giving this meal, whatever it is, chapati, etc. And Prabhupada actually also comments in the purport here that also it helps that the person accepting the meal, the sannyas, he doesn't overeat because he accepts little at a time, so he doesn't overeat. Okay. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt unlimited happiness to observe that Sanatana Goswami's strict following of the principles of sannyas. However, he repeatedly glanced at the woolen blanket Sanatana Goswami was wearing. Okay, now an important point here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy that Sanatana Goswami was acting like a proper sannyas. So this is what he was very happy. In fact, everything is here, explaining everything, but we don't have to follow it. He explains that how a sannyas should act. So I will explain more as we go on. So he said that, yes, a sannyas must be very strict, especially a sannyas. He was very lenient for householders. Householders, he was very lenient. In fact, Prabhupada also quoted in one purport. He said once one householder had a child, and Mahaprabhu said that we must give him an auspicious name. So Prabhupada said Gauranga Mahaprabhu was okay, like a householder had a child, etc. But against sannyasis, if they didn't follow, he was like a thunderbolt. He never tolerated this. Prabhupada gives a nice saying regarding that. If I find that, I'll read it to you. Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was repeatedly glancing at this valuable woolen blanket, Sanatan could understand that the Lord did not approve. He then began to consider a way to give it up. So because Sanatana Goswami, he was a politician and a diplomat, he knew and he could understand, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was always glancing at this wooden shawl, then he knew that Mahaprabhu didn't approve of it, though Mahaprabhu didn't say anything, but he could understand that Sanatana Goswami would understand that he didn't approve. So Sanatana Goswami, thinking in this way, Sanatana went to the bank of the Ganges to bathe. While there, he saw that a mendicant from Bengal had washed his quilt and spread it out to dry. Sanatana Goswami then told the Bengali mendicant, my dear brother, please do me a favor, trade me your quilt for this woolen blanket. The mendicant replied, "Sir, you are a respectable gentleman. Why are you joking with me? Why would you trade your valuable blanket for my torn quilt?" So, he was saying, "You're cutting jokes with me now. Why you're a respectable person, and why you are joking with me? Why you want to give your expensive blanket for my torn clothes?" So Sanatan said, "I'm not joking. I'm speaking the truth. Kindly take this blanket in exchange for your torn clothes." Saying this, Sanatan Goswami exchanged the blanket for the quilt. He then returned to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with a quilt on his shoulder. When Sanatan Goswami returned, the Lord asked, "Where is your woolen blanket?" Sanatan then narrated the whole story to the Lord. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then said, "I have deliberately considered this matter. Since Lord Krishna is very merciful, he has nullified your attachment for material things. Why should Krishna allow you to maintain a last bit of material attachment? After vanquishing a disease, a good physician does not allow any of the disease to remain." So that's what I want to do now. I'm like a physician, so I want to remove all the disease now. That's why I'm getting you to listen to Prabhupada. Because we don't want you to maintain any of your material attachments. Though you can act and use everything in Krishna's service, as taught by Rupa Goswami, but we should not be attached. That's the only thing. We should not be attached. We should accept everything in the service of Krishna. That's all. So you only have to change your consciousness. You don't have to change that activity. It's just that your consciousness has to change, that everything is related to Krishna. So this is very, very important. Right. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "It's contradictory to practice Madhukari and at the same time wear a valuable blanket. One loses his spiritual strength by doing this, and one will become an object of jokes." So this is very important. So by actually being a hypocrite or not practicing properly, so whatever spiritual strength you make or spiritual advancement you make, you will lose that. You will lose that. And Prabhupada in his commentary, he actually also mentions that a sannyasi should not live luxuriously at the cost of his disciples or householders. He should not live. And he quoted that a sannyasi shouldn't have like a female assistant or female secretary. He said that was completely, Mahaprabhu was totally against that. He mentioned specifically a sannyasi should not have a woman assistant, or he said a woman secretary. He said Mahaprabhu was totally against this. In fact, it is all there in black and white. Right. So sometimes I wonder which books we are reading. Who are our advisors? But it certainly is not our Goswamis. Right. So Sanatana Goswami replied, "The Supreme Personality of Godhead has saved me from the sinful life of material existence. By his desire, my last piece of material attraction is now gone." And that's what also is happening to you. Like this material attraction you are having is slowly disappearing. So one day you'll have your last piece of attachment, like maybe in Sarva Mangala appearance, or that will also go away.
Yeah, I have attachment.
Being pleased with Sanatana Goswami, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bestowed his causeless mercy upon him. By the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami received the spiritual strength to inquire from him. So that means what he's saying here is that you can only get spiritual strength by the causeless mercy of Krishna or the spiritual master. Only by the causeless mercy you can get spiritual strength. You can't get it on your own. You need that mercy. That is called Guru Parampara. That comes directly from Krishna. It comes to Vyasadeva, Madhvacharya, etc. like this, to Madhavendra Puri, Ishwara Puri, and then to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to Vishwanath Chakravarti, from Vishwanath Chakravarti to Bhushan, and then comes to like Krishna, before Krishna Das Kaviraj comes to Raghunath Das Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami came to Krishna Das Kaviraj, and from Krishna Das Kaviraj, Narottam, and from Narottam it's gone to Jagannath Das Babaji. From Jagannath Das Babaji came to Bhaktivinoda Thakur. From Bhaktivinoda Thakur to Gokishore Das Babaji. From Gokishore Das Babaji to Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And now we are continuing this whole same process, coming down in the Guru Parampara. Formerly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had asked Ramananda Rai spiritual questions, and by the Lord's causeless mercy, Ramananda Rai could properly answer. Now, by the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami questioned the Lord, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally supplied the truth. So, what's interesting here about Ramananda Rai? Ramananda Rai, well, everybody, I mean, like in our Gaudiya Vaishnava knows that he is an incarnation of Vishaka, Ramananda Rai. So, but anyway, in the present life, he was a governor in Madras. He was a Madras. He was basically like a Shudra. He was working for the king. And so when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the bank of Godavari River, then Mahaprabhu arranged that he will meet Ramananda Rai and they will have a lot of discussions about Krishna. And then Mahaprabhu started asking Ramananda Rai to teach him. And Ramananda Rai, Prabhupada said, you are shy. You were shy, you was feeling, I'm a Shudra, and you Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came from an aristocratic Brahmin family, and he felt that, why are you asking me? In fact, you are like my guru, I should be asking you, and you should be teaching me, and now you asking me like to teach you. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. And so he explained this. One who knows the signs of Krishna, doesn't matter what he is fit to preach. But when it's speaking about the signs, it means the realized, not theoretical. Realized signs, he is fit. It doesn't matter whether it's a Shudra, Vaishya, or any low born, but he is fit to preach if he knows the signs of Krishna. So formally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked Ramananda Rai spiritual questions, and by the Lord's causeless mercy, Ramananda Rai could properly reply. Now, by the Lord's mercy, Sanatana Goswami questioned the Lord, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally supplied the truth. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the personality of Godhead, personally told Sanatana Goswami about Lord Krishna, his real identity. He spoke to him about his real identity, which we'll discuss as we go on. He also told him about the Lord's conjugal love, his personal opulence, and the mellows of devotional service. All these truths were explained to Sanatana Goswami by the Lord himself out of his causeless mercy. Right. So these are very interesting, that he says, I'll tell you about Lord Krishna's real identity, about Krishna's conjugal love with Srimati Radharani, the personal opulence, and the mellows of devotional service. All these truths I will explain to you, Sanatana Goswami. So this Mahaprabhu assured Sanatana Goswami, he will explain everything. Sanatana Goswami putting a straw in his mouth and bowing down, Sanatana Goswami clasped the feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and humbly spoke as follows. Sanatana Goswami said, I was born in a low family and my associations are also low-class men. I myself am fallen and I am the lowest of men. Indeed, I have passed my whole life fallen in the well of sinful materialism. Prabhupada actually comments in this purport here. He said, even though Sanatana Goswami is saying that he is the lowest, but actually he came from an aristocratic Brahmin family, Saraswat Brahmin family. Yeah, that's where Sanatana Goswami came. But why he is regarded as like low class? Because he was serving Nawab Hussain, a Muslim, and he adopted that culture because they were meat eaters, etc., and many other things that are done that was contrary to the Vedic system. So if you don't follow the Vedic system, you are called a Yavana or a Malacha. So basically, he had fallen down to that level. By associating with them, he also developed these qualities. So he came. So then Sanatana Goswami continues to speak. He says, I don't know what is beneficial to me or what is detrimental. Nonetheless, in ordinary dealings, people consider me a learned scholar, and I am also thinking myself as such. The Prabhupada explained like this sometimes. Somebody will say, hey, you're Maharaj or you are this. And even though you may be the most fallen, or you start to think, oh, yes, I am a Maharaj. I'm great. Somebody praises you. Say, oh, you're such a great Swami. You're such a great devotee. Say, yeah. You may say, no, I'm not. But inside you think, oh, he is praising me. So I'm thinking like this. I'm such a great devotee. So he says, I'm thinking. When they're praising me, I'm thinking I'm learned. He says, out of your causeless mercy, you have delivered me from the materialistic path. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is delivering him from the materialistic path. Now, by the same causeless mercy, please tell me what my duty is. So a very interesting question. He's asking, what is my duty now? So you can see he's starting at the beginning. That's why Prabhupada actually, in this Chaitanya Charitamrta, in the Madhya Lila, he only did verses from here. He did the numerous. In fact, he gave about 15 days discourse only on this topic. 15 days, every day he was continuing. And mostly Prabhupada's classes wouldn't last more than 30 minutes. In fact, around 25 minutes he would stop. Right? And Prabhupada also, he never sometimes look at the clock. He should just speak. And then all of a sudden, he used to think that, oh, now, okay, time is up. And he should stop and say, okay. And then he should say, no, we got a few more minutes. Then he should continue speaking till like 25 or 30 minutes is up. So Prabhupada knew that the people won't be able to absorb more than that. But because it was the people that he was speaking to. But like in advanced, when devotees are more advanced and more spiritual consciousness, you can sometimes speak for hours and they can accept and digest that information. Because it is like, to a devotee who's in spiritual consciousness, is like nectar continuously flowing. When they are speaking, nectar is flowing, that they want to continually listen, and they don't get. Whereas like in the karmic consciousness is that after some time, you just wonder when the speaker is going to finish. Because you start getting bored. Okay. And who am I? He asked, why do the threefold miseries always give me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? So this is what he asked Mahaprabhu, who am I? Why is threefold miseries giving me trouble? If I do not know this, how can I be benefited? Actually, this is Sanatana Goswami is still speaking. I do not know how to inquire about the goal of life and the process of obtaining it. being merciful upon me, please explain all these truths. So, so Sanatana Goswami was quite clever. He said, I don't know how to ask questions. Right, I'm a full number one. So you please explain what you have to explain. Right. So in this way, avoid asking questions. And Mahaprabhu started to explain. So in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Lord Krishna had bestowed his full mercy upon you. And so all these things are known to you, for the threefold miseries certainly do not exist. So Gauranga Mahaprabhu told him that those threefold miseries don't exist for you, Sanatana Goswami. Right. Since he said, since you possess Lord Krishna's potency, you certainly know these things. However, it is the nature of a sadhu to inquire. Although he knows these things, the sadhu inquires for the sake of strictness. That means he inquires for the sake of strictness, so that by him hearing again, then he understands, no, this is what I have to do. Like, give you, like say, once you start reading and you start understanding from the scriptures, and once Prabhupada, they had prepared a big feast of offerings for the Thakurji. And at that time, Vishnu John Swami, he was there. And he asked Prabhupada whether he should prepare a plate for him. And Prabhupada said, what? A plate? He said, a plate? He said, no. He said, a sannyasi doesn't accept a plate. He accepts in his hands. He takes in his hands. And so he doesn't overeat. He doesn't take in a plate. So when I saw this, I was happy to hear this. But later, now as I'm reading the Chaitanya Charitamrta again, I found that one time, also there was some very nice offering. In fact, there was such a big offering at Advaitacharya's house. And they were offering meals to Sanatan. So I'm not Sanatan, to Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And yeah, they have prepared like thousands and thousands of preparations in a all Vedic way. Like the things they were, like certain foodstuff they were baking in the sun before they prepare it, and so many items they prepared. And Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he said, if anyone can prepare offerings like this to the Lord, he would take that person's head and put, what he said, I'll put my feet. Something. Anyway, he said, I'll take that person, like he'll give so much blessings to such a person who can do this. He said, like life after life, I'll worship that person who can make such an offering like this. So anyway, after the offering, so they offered Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu to eat. And then Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he actually also called Haridas Thakur to eat. Then Haridas Thakur said, no, he won't eat now. He said, after you eat, you can give me one palm of prasad and I'll eat. A palmful. He didn't say, prepare a plate for me. He said, just give me a palmful and I will eat that. Right. So we are learning like this. This is what we have to understand, that we have to control the senses. The Prabhupada said, in fact, you're eating, you're controlling your tongue, you can control everything else. If you can control your tongue when you're eating and how you're talking, then you can have perfect control of all the other senses. So therefore, we must be careful what we speak and how we speak. That is controlling the tongue, and also having prasad. Prasad means basically in Krishna consciousness that I am having remnants of Krishna. And so, okay, he says, I'm just repeating, since you possess Lord Krishna's potency, you certainly know these things. However, it is the nature of sadhu to inquire. Although he knows these things, the sadhu inquires for the sake of strictness. Those who are eager to awaken their spiritual consciousness and who have thus unflinching, undeviated intelligence certainly attain the desired goal of life very soon. So if you start having this unwavering faith and you practice chanting, then immediately or very soon, say you'll get the desired goal. This verse is quoted from the Narayana Purana, and also it is found in the Bhakta Rasamrita Sindhu. You are fit to propagate the cult of devotional service. Therefore, gradually hear all these truths about it from me. I shall tell you about them. Okay, now this is interesting. What time now?
It's been
8:17.
50 minutes.
50 minutes. 50.
50 is gone.
Minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
50 minutes gone. Okay, I'll continue. Let's see now. Okay. Okay, you know, all right, interesting. Okay. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna because he is the marginal energy of Krishna and a manifestation simultaneously one and different from the Lord. Like a molecular particle of sunshine or fire. Krishna has three varieties. Also here he's explaining Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Basically what is Gaura Mahaprabhu is explaining that you are one with Krishna and you're also different. So Prabhupada explains here in the purport what he means by one. He said Krishna is spirit, right? And you are spirit as well. You are a spiritual being and Krishna is a spiritual being. But the difference is Krishna is the supreme and you are infinitesimal, you are minute. So you are different in that way. So that's basically Achintya Beda Beda Tattva is one and different. So you're one in spirit, but you're different in quantity. So this is the philosophy that Gauranga Mahaprabhu has introduced, Achintya Beda Beda Tattva. Right? So he says, just as the illumination of the fire, which is situated in one place, is spread all over, the energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parabrahman, is also spread all over the universe. Lord Krishna naturally has three energetic transformations. These are known as the spiritual potency, the living entity potency, and the illusory potency. It's very nicely explained here. Illusory means fruitive activities. You know, whatever act we perform not in Krishna consciousness, it's an illusion. It has no value because it is finished at the time of death. So it has no value. So it's an illusion. Though we practice, like say, we may collect lots of money, we may build lots of houses, we may have lots of cars, everything, but that activity is an illusion because at the time of death, everything leaves you. But whatever spiritual progress you make is carried on. That is added to your credits, to your eternal benefit. Right. So there's three potencies. Originally, Krishna's energy is spiritual, and the energy known as the living entity is also spiritual. However, there is another energy called illusion, which consists of fruitive activity. So illusion is fruitive activity. So the activity that we do, see, but when we act, it seems like fruitively, but we're acting for Krishna, it is different. It's not a fruitive activity. It's like, say now you go to the temple and you go to cook for the Lord, right? And then after that, you want to partake of that prasad. So it's not that you're going to offer, so you're going to get the fruits of your whatever you're offering. You're doing it as devotional service. So that's a spiritual activity, right? However, there's another energy called illusion, which consists of fruit. This is the Lord's third potency. Right, so fruitive activity is Maya, it's the material energy. Okay. Yeah, so anyway, we'll stop there. But this is very, very interesting after all these other topics, because here he speaks about Sambandhana, Sambandha, Abhaya, and Prayojan. Basically, one is what is our eternal service, how to practice that service, and what is the ultimate goal of that service. So we'll continue there.